Hello YouTube, back and again with another video. This is going to be a really fun, exciting duel. This is a custom duel actually that I'm going to be watching like you see right now. And it's going to be the entire full archetype of Black Sands. So what I mean by that I feel like I finally completed the archetype with the cards that were deserving and most likely would need a spot in order to make the deck play at its full extent. And with this hand, you're going to understand what's going to happen. So instead of me talking too much, I'm just going to showcase and make you guys relax and enjoy the video. Let's fast forward here. Trade in, obviously, to draw 2 cards by discarding Monroe. And I'm pretty sure you guys are aware how the archetype works either way, since you've seen most of these cards. For those who've been into my channel, but for those who are new, you may as well stay tuned. So, because we're about to activate Black Saints Matter. Pretty much the same process. And when I say this duel will get exciting, I'm being real serious. It's no clickbait, you guys. Trust me on this. Because this deck is about to go full power. And I feel, and why did I even get rid of Black Saints Matter either way? You know, I probably got really distracted. So, but once you see the cards on the field, it should explain just how strong this deck already is. Because when you see the board that I make, there's gonna be like literally no words. You'll be like, what the fuck? Are you for real? Like, even it's hard to explain, but I could explain everything, but I don't want to spoil it for you. So just relax. Again, watch the video. Might as well sip a cup of tea, whatever you want to do. Multitask, play video games, but you're in for something special. So, like compared to all my custom duel videos, this one's gonna be the most special. Either way, this is a crazy card, so. But then I go a little too fast. Forgot my opponent. Eventually, he does have a response to Ambrose. To its special summon effect, I can't get the draw, so I have to fix my hand after. Look. Here's the Gamma in hand. So I have to reshuffle the cards that I just drew. So his Gamma stays while Ambrose leaves the field. Alright, let's fast forward here. See this shit. And then, because of Black Saints, obviously, I can normal summon without tributing, since even though it's a level 8. And then I'll be able to trigger Elijah's effect. You do trust me. Yeah, you guys have to keep your eyes on this duel right now. It's gonna go crazy right now. Zeon, obviously, you know what he does. For those who've seen him in the last duel, crazy card. He's a easy special summon and another extender as well from using cards from the main deck to the field that happen to be black spell trap cards. Like right now, Evolution will be able to activate. Alright, we're about to summon out Shanique, obviously. Hopefully I'll get Monroe out onto the field and I get to draw 4 cards. Thank you Monroe for the draw, for the +4. And people were thinking, I had people who I took some I try to take other people's opinions about this card. There are a lot of people who said this card should not be hit whatsoever because the effect, yes, you draw more. Consider how you play this deck, you can literally get a lot of draw power. But the reason why it's so good is because of the support that surrounds it, like the cards right now. You have the Black Wall Street, you have the same Black Saints Matter, you have Black Saint Evolution. So there are a lot of cards that come with that make the card too good. But without it, the card is pretty much a dead card. And I also forgot to mention that I met Special Summon Shaggy with the first Black Saints Matter on the field. And I'm still trying to wonder, will I Synchro Summon first? Or will I Special Summon a different monster besides a Synchro monster? And then Evolution will eventually trigger when sent to the graveyard. So I'll Synchro Summon to Destiny, and then it resolves. And then Shaggy resolves as well. But since I changed to Shaggy, his effect goes first. So let's fast forward here. My opponent approved, so I did get the draw 2 on top of a +1 with evolutions effect, so I get to add a black Saiyan monster from my deck to my hand. Alright, fast forward. 8-star ball for ritual summon. Imagine if he did, Nibiru can literally destroy me. So I can say this, that this deck, I can guarantee you this deck's entire weakness is basically hand traps. If your opponent has at least 1 or 2 hand traps, I don't know if it's enough to stop the deck. For example, maybe Ash Blossom, Joel and Lockbird. Joel and Lockbird would 100% destroy this deck, as well as Nibiru. Because neither player can draw, but like, I think some people fail to realize, although consider how powerful this deck is, hand traps are the best way to actually like stop this deck in its tracks. Stop the archetype from extending with all these full plays right now, like you see right now. Because the only way to stop this deck's comboing is if someone has a monster or whatever in their hand to stop this deck from actually getting all their pieces. What I mean is, like, they have to activate during my turn, and the card has to be in their hand, so that way I don't expect it. But either way, it's all like unpredictable on how this duel is gonna turn. But like I said, if my opponent does have hand trap, a very devastating hand trap, it would pretty much be enough to stop my monsters in their track and possibly get rid of them, and be able to get even further more cards from my deck, graveyard, whatever, to the field. Because this archetype grid has been the most incredible archetype that I've made so far. The fact that it revolves around simply placing cards on the field and getting them as quickly as possible, considering their levels, considering they're all level 8 monsters, is a huge accomplishment for me, seriously. It's very huge, honestly. Because the fact, usually, in Yu-Gi-Oh! The rule, how they specifically made Yu-Gi-Oh! Monsters is that, like, you would rather have more level 4 monsters or lower monsters to actually combo with your deck, because it makes it that way you have at least a normal summon that can either get you a search or a monster that can special summon itself if you control a certain monster that is normal summoned with ease. Because that way it's to ensure that you always have a normal summon, where in this deck you don't always have a normal summon. But it all depends if I draw into certain cards in order to actually gain that normal summon. Because this deck itself is meant to have restrictions, because I feel there should really be no low level monsters in this deck. So reason being is because pretty much they have very similar effects, where if they battle, not even battle, if they attack a monster, they're always gonna be 100 points stronger. And then trying to make it relate to the Saiyans in Dragon Ball Z, because they always tend, even though they lose, they always come right back up and like getting stronger. They always tend to get a Zenkai boost. They always tend to get a boost in power and Kai, like I said, a Zenkai power. And I want this theme to match the idea behind Dragon Ball Z, where Saiyans were actually a massive threat, and why Frieza even feared them, because they would keep growing stronger, and why eventually he decided to pretty much like commit genocide. But again, just let's continue watching. And I forgot to mention my opponent, and I will eventually give him a shout out, but he's supposed to banish Cyframe, Gamma, and Driver because he special summoned them during my turn. Unless he has a card that actually prevents them from leaving the field, then it is uncalled for. So, but at this point it is called for. But then he has no choice. Infinite Track. And this point later, don't trust me, down the road he's eventually going to scoop. So, and this is where I have to say, to be real, I feel like at this point there should be no more support for Black Saiyans. They already reached their full peak. Look at this. I already have all special summoning. I already done utilize all of the unique special summoning mechanics right now. Like, I already have a ritual monster on my field. I have a link monster, fusion, exceed, synchro. That is enough to say that this deck has already reached its full potential and it's already its full peak. So from here on out, like, I feel like there's no need to make more black sand cards, because then not only will it be more confusing, it just seems unnecessary. Because the deck is already strong with the way it already is, and I'm playing 44 cards, so I don't want to keep adding more cards. Because I'll be real with you guys, I'm playing every single black sand board in this deck, just because I wanted to actually be able to witness the cards myself. I want to be able to see for myself how good they are, or how they would be used in certain situations, so that for me, I can pretty much have a better understanding of the cards, so I can heavily rely on them, and then just make so it becomes less pointless for me. Because the point is to actually utilize every single card that I created within the Black Sands to make them play at their fullest at their full potential, and they deserve that respect for them to be that good. Because you can try to make a way to make usually players prefer to play 40. You can find ways to try and cut the deck, but with 44, the deck is a lot stronger now because you are playing a lot of bricks, so you need ways to unbrick your deck, and you need to play cards that will help you unbrick your deck, which I was clearly doing right now. So even before, because you notice throughout this whole duel, I was simply just keep drawing cards, searching cards, finding ways to special summon monsters, because of the spells that are the reason for it. It's not mainly the monsters, it's mainly the spells. Imagine people are saying this archetype is broken. Yes, in a way. But if you don't draw into your spells, if you don't get into your spells, this deck is done. Trust me, 100%. And then if you don't, like, imagine you have no spells, or you have any other guys to help you lend you your black sand monsters. Odds are you immediately have to end the turn. And that's how you immediately have to end your turn, and you hopefully your opponent doesn't kill you, and you either special summon with using Ambrose or Shanique, and that way you can pretty much stop yourself from being OTK'd. But here on out, let's be real, my opponent's already done. It's already done. My opponent's already done, seriously. Look at this. Now I can draw 6 cards. That's what I was waiting for. See, this is the reason behind the archetype, is for them to actually have great synergy, like they do right now. Considering I match summon all 5 of these really strong mechanics, these very, like, not even very hard mechanics. The hardest one has to be ritual summon, but that I match summon all 5 of these important mechanics besides pendulum summoning is something special to me, seriously. And that's what I was trying to remind you guys, why this duel is important, and why I feel like this one has to be the best video that I've made compared to all my custom duel videos. And maybe, hopefully, more of you viewers can speculate. You can try to compare which is better, and realize when you look at this one takes the cake, honestly. And that it means more by looking at it, judging from the duel, that means that this deck is pretty much has to come to an end. And I hopefully, to be real, I'm grateful for this archetype. I don't know about you guys, but hopefully you can enjoy and have a better understanding. And then my opponent will, but they know I have no choice but to admit defeat. I respect him for it. I do let him know. I give him a shout out. I let him be aware that I do run a YouTube channel. But he doesn't have a comeback. Like he said, he acknowledges that he can't come back from this, and that he'll admit defeat. And again, this is where I have to say that I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Be sure to check for more upcoming content later in the future. Be sure to check your notifications, comment, like, subscribe. Thank you.